Most people consider life a battle. It is not a battle, it is a game. That sentence is the thunderbolt that breaks the sleep of the soul. Life is not a punishment, not a chore, not a maze of suffering. It is a divine game, governed by laws far higher than reason or logic. And the moment you know the rules, you cease to be a pawn and step into the power of the player. In this game, your word is your wand. With every sentence you speak, you are either casting a spell of faith or a curse of fear. The mouth is the portal of miracles or misery, depending on what you send through it. For the game of life responds not to appearances, not to effort, not even to prayer spoken in doubt. It responds to the word spoken in faith. So I say, there is no loss in divine mind. What was taken must return multiplied. What was denied must be restored under grace. The game does not punish, it reflects. The man who fears lack will meet it at every corner. But the man who declares, God is my supply and supply now appears, will never walk in the shadows of one again. To win this game, you must clear the field of fear. You cannot play divine chess while clutching illusions. You must know that the invisible is the real, that what you see is simply the harvest of what you once believed. And if the harvest displeases you, speak a new seed. People say, what if I make the wrong move? I say, you are divinely guided. You cannot lose when you are aligned with spirit. You must walk forward with the sword of your word and the shield of your faith, and dare to believe that nothing is too good to be true. The game of life is played with joy, not strain, with not sight, with expectancy, not anxiety. You do not strive in the divine game, you receive. And you receive only what your soul has claimed with authority. You are not a victim. You are not a mistake. You are a divine player in a divine system, and the board is rigged in your favor when you speak the word. So I say to you, speak health, speak love, speak peace. And when the world says it's impossible, you say, I now prepare for the miracle. Because the game of life is not won by force, but by faith in the unseen. The spoken word is not mere sound. It is not casual breath in the air. It is law in motion. The word you speak, knowingly or unknowingly, is a decree, a form of energetic blueprint that etches itself into the substance of your life. Not to what you beg, not to what you hope, but to what you declare as true. Your word is not only a vibration, it is a wand, and it either blesses or binds, builds or breaks. The subconscious mind is the obedient servant of speech. It does not judge or reason, it accepts. Whatever word is consistently spoken with faith, the subconscious accepts as instruction. It then goes to work aligning circumstances, people, events, and even your very biology to mirror the declaration. When you say, I am always unlucky, you are not describing a condition, you are scripting one. When you say, money flows to me from unexpected places, you are opening unseen doors and permitting supply to enter. Speech is the first act of creation. In the beginning of all manifestation, there was the word. Before the house was built, it was spoken into design. Before the garden bloomed, it was called into form. And so it is with your life. Every word spoken is a seed planted. Every sentence is a line drawn in the canvas of reality. It matters not if the speaker believes this. The law is not subject to belief. The law is only subject to obedience. This is why careless speech is dangerous. One may say, it's only a joke, or I didn't mean it. But the subconscious mind has no sense of humor. It does not detect sarcasm. It only records and obeys. If you constantly say, I can't afford that, the law goes to work to affirm your lack. If you repeat, I'm always sick, the body aligns itself to manifest that sickness, for the word is the master of the flesh. You may observe two people, one who constantly speaks life, and another who constantly speaks limitation. The difference in their results is not due to luck, nor intelligence, nor effort. It is due to speech. The one who speaks health, peace, wealth, and ease will attract conditions in harmony with those vibrations. The one who speaks fear, debt, fatigue, and confusion will reap the harvest of those declarations. Every word must be watched, for every word is a wand. If you declare, I am divinely guided in all I do, you are placing yourself in alignment with right action. The invisible forces of intuition, grace, and synchronicity begin to arrange your path to support your command. But if you say, I never know what to do, then confusion becomes your constant companion. You walk in a fog of your own decree. The power of the spoken word must be accompanied by feeling. The tone, intention, and emotion behind a statement feed its creative power. Empty repetition without belief is like trying to ignite a flame with damp wood. But when you speak a word from your very core, with feeling and certainty, it charges the atmosphere. It creates a magnetic pull that draws its physical equivalent to you. You are not helpless. You are not at the mercy of fate. You are, at every moment, sending forth vibrations with your words. And these vibrations build the bridge to your next experience. No one is punished for ignorance, but all are bound by law. Once you know that your speech holds the key, you are accountable. You must use the wand wisely, deliberately, and in harmony with truth. Begin by transforming your phrases. Replace I can't with I am now ready. Replace I don't know how with I am shown the way. Replace I'm afraid with I walk in faith. Small shifts in speech unlock great power. The universe does not respond to conditions, it responds to commands. If one desires healing, let them speak wholeness. If one desires love, let them declare their worth. If one seeks provision, let them affirm that they walk under divine supply. These are not idle affirmations, they are instructions to the law. And the law never sleeps. The law is not mocked. The law delivers what is ordered, no more, no less. You need not know how your word will bring the result. You need only speak the word in faith, and then be still. The creative forces of the universe, unseen by eyes, but always working, will take the word and shape the path. You will be led, nudged, pulled, or even pushed into the manifestation of what you have spoken. Use your words to build, not destroy. Use them to uplift, not worry. For the tongue is both sword and salve, and it is you who must choose which. Say often, I speak only what I wish to see made manifest. For the word spoken today is the life lived tomorrow. And remember, your word is not just speech, it is the command that creates your world. Use it wisely, and the game of life becomes not a struggle, but a symphony. All that you see in your outer world is the perfect mirror of what you have believed inwardly. The stage upon which you live, the characters you meet, the patterns you repeat, none of these are random. They are reflections, projections, the outward photograph of the invisible film that plays in your consciousness. Life does not originate outside you, it reveals what has already been accepted as true within. This law is infallible. What is believed in the depths of your soul must appear on the screen of your experience. You may try to alter conditions through effort, complaint, or manipulation, but if the belief remains unchanged, the condition will return in a new disguise. The cycle cannot be broken by force. It is broken only by the transformation of belief. If you believe you are unloved, even the kindest face will seem indifferent. If you believe you are destined for struggle, opportunities will slip through your fingers like mist. If you believe you are unworthy of good, the good will avoid you, for you have shut the door with your own conviction. You may pray, affirm, visualize, and yet wonder why nothing changes. It is because belief has not been touched. Until belief is shifted, all efforts are but painting the surface while the roots grow wild. Belief is not what one says, it is what one accepts without question. Many claim to believe in abundance, yet they fear every expense. Many speak of health, but anticipate disease. This is not belief, this is mental decoration. True belief is felt in the bones, moves through the blood, and governs reaction. One may declare, I am divinely provided for, but if the heart tightens at the sight of a bill, the true belief is in lack, and lack will continue its performance in the theater of life. There is no injustice in this. There is only law. Life is not cruel or generous, it is exact. It returns precisely what has been impressed upon the inner realm. Change the inner impression, and the outer reflection must obey. If the mirror shows you sorrow, you do not blame the glass, you change the expression. So it is with life. The subconscious accepts belief in two ways: repetition and emotional charge. A thought repeated often or one spoken with feeling imprints itself deeply. That imprint becomes the silent architect of your future. One must begin, therefore, to examine the thoughts that repeat, the feelings that rise, and the phrases that escape unconsciously. These are the materials out of which life is formed. Say to yourself often, my world is a mirror. What I see is what I believe. Then observe without judgment. If your environment is filled with conflict, ask not who is to blame, but what belief gave it permission. If you encounter delays, ask what within you believes in obstacles. There is always an answer, and once the belief is found, it can be replaced. Replacement begins with a new statement spoken in faith. If one has believed in delay, begin to affirm, everything comes to me in divine timing. If one has believed in loneliness, begin to say, I am now surrounded by love. If one has believed in failure, affirm with calm certainty, success is my divine right, and it manifests now. At first the old belief may resist, but the new word, if repeated with confidence, will take root. You need not struggle to believe. You only need to persist in declaring the new idea. Faith grows through familiarity. A statement spoken with authority enough times becomes accepted, and once accepted, it must bear fruit in the outer world. The reflection must change. You may not know the full extent of your unconscious beliefs, but your life already reveals them. Look around you. What is constant? What is repeating? That which shows up again and again is tied to something you have accepted as true. And the good news is, belief can be rewritten. You are not condemned to relive your past. The law of reflection binds you only to what you continue to believe. The moment you believe something higher, life rushes to match it. There is no need to fear the law. It is your servant. It has never worked against you. It has only worked with the materials you gave it. Begin now to furnish it with new materials. Speak what you desire as though it already is. Walk as if your highest truth were your daily bread. Feel the joy of the fulfilled desire before it is seen. For in the language of the universe, the invisible is the seed, and the visible is merely the harvest. Life is your echo. It does not originate sound, it returns it. Listen closely, and you will always hear what your soul has been saying. The wise do not curse the echo, they change the tone of the voice. In the realm of spirit, the only currency that holds power is faith. Faith is the substance from which miracles are formed. Faith is the power that lifts the invisible into visibility, the unseen into form. You may argue, reason, calculate, and analyze, but no amount of logic or willpower will take the place of that calm, unwavering confidence that declares, "It is done," before the evidence appears. Faith is the activator of all divine law. Without it, the machinery of the universe remains still. With it, the entire cosmos is set in motion to answer your call. Many people attempt to succeed through force, through anxiety, pressure, or endless effort. They push the door of life, hoping it will open with enough strain. But divine doors do not open that way. They are unlocked by spiritual certainty, not physical intensity. When one acts from fear or desperation, they meet with resistance. When one moves in faith, the way becomes smooth and events unfold with harmony. The man who forces his way forward often finds delay. But the man who walks with silent knowing finds paths prepared for him. Faith is not loud. It is not frantic, it is quiet, yet it shakes mountains. It does not require proof, for it knows that the word spoken in trust is more powerful than 1,000 facts. When one speaks, "I am guided," while still in confusion, and refuses to speak otherwise, then guidance is assured. But if one doubts, speaks in fear, or consults only appearances, then the answer is withheld. Not as punishment, but because doubt cancels direction. Logic belongs to the world of appearances. Faith belongs to the realm of truth. Logic says, "This is not possible." Faith says, "All things are possible." Logic says, "There is no way." Faith answers, "The way is already made." You may use your reasoning to calculate the odds of success, but the divine law is not subject to probability. It is subject to belief. If you believe you shall receive, then nothing on earth can prevent it. The one who walks in divine confidence is a magnet to miracles. Fear, on the other hand, is a declaration of separation. It announces to the universe, "I am alone. I do not trust the outcome. I must control it." And in that very moment, the channels of grace are blocked. Nothing flows freely to the one who fears. Fear contracts the heart, closes the hand, and clouds the vision. You cannot receive with clenched fists or a trembling spirit. Only faith opens the gates of abundance. Some try to disguise fear under the name of planning or realism, but the soul knows the difference. True planning done in peace is guided. Planning rooted in panic is simply mental noise. The moment you feel yourself tense, rushing, or struggling, step back and remember divine law does not respond to pressure, it responds to trust. To succeed under spiritual law, you must stop wrestling with life and begin cooperating with it. Success is not the result of trying harder. It is the fruit of surrendering deeper. It comes when one aligns inwardly with the reality they desire, and then walks as if it already is. This is not laziness, it is divine confidence. The person of faith does not sit idle. They act, but from a place of assurance. Their steps are not frantic, but firm. Their words are not panicked, but precise. They say only what they wish to see, and they release the rest to divine timing. You may say, "But I am afraid." Then speak the word to cast out fear. Say, "I walk in faith. I am not moved by appearances. All things work together for my good." Do not wait for the feeling to come before speaking it. Speak it until it comes. The word spoken in repetition with dignity and strength will dissolve the illusion of fear and restore you to truth. Faith must become your inner posture, your default setting, not something you summon only in crisis, but the very lens through which you see the world. If you trust the process of spirit more than the panic of circumstance, you will see results that others call impossible. The ones who succeed by divine law are not those who have the most resources, but those who believe the most completely. You are not required to make things happen. You are required to believe they already are in divine mind. Once you believe, the bridge to their manifestation will appear. And once that bridge is revealed, you must walk it without hesitation. Faith is both the spark and the movement. It speaks the word, and then acts on it as though it cannot fail. The moment you let go of fear and pick up faith, the tides turn. The moment you stop explaining and start declaring, the heavens begin to rearrange. You need not prove yourself, you need not outwork others. You need only to trust that what is truly yours cannot be kept from you, and what is not yours cannot be forced to stay. In the divine order, faith is the only master key. There is no such thing as loss in the divine. What appears as loss is merely a transition, a shift, a redirection in the invisible pattern of good that is always seeking to express itself through you. Spirit does not take away. It circulates. When something leaves your life, it is not destruction. It is divine adjustment. And what is truly yours by divine right can never be taken from you, nor can it miss you. It may be delayed by your disbelief, but it cannot be denied. The average mind mourns the visible and forgets the invisible. It clings to forms and ignores the source. But the wise know that the form is only the shell, and spirit is the substance. If you lose a position, a possession, or a person, you have lost nothing essential. What is essential is the spiritual idea behind the form, and this cannot perish. The substance is eternal, it cannot be diminished. It only changes costume, then returns in higher form, if you are ready to receive it. You must release the belief that anything has been taken from you. You must stop rehearsing the wound of loss. You must declare, nothing is ever lost in spirit. What is mine returns to me under grace in perfect form. If a relationship ends, affirm that divine love is still yours, and the right expression of that love will now manifest. If a job disappears, affirm that divine activity cannot be lost, and a new channel now opens. The moment you let go of sorrow and enter the vibration of trust, the law is set in motion to restore what you believed was lost. Clinging to what is gone keeps you bound to the past. You cannot receive the new while your hands are still grasping the old. Loss often creates a vacuum. But the vacuum is not a punishment, it is preparation. Nature abhors a vacuum. When space is created, it must be filled. The only question is, will you fill it with faith or fear? If you fill it with mourning, worry, and resentment, then the new will be delayed. But if you fill it with gratitude and expectancy, then the new must come, and it will come better than what was removed. Every appearance of loss is a spiritual test. Will you trust the invisible supply? Will you remember that the source of your good is not a person, not a contract, not a paycheck, but divine mind itself? The source of your good is infinite and inexhaustible. If one door closes, another is already open. If one chapter ends, the next is already written in light. But you cannot read it while your eyes are fixed on the ashes. Say daily, nothing real can be taken from me. I walk in the flow of restoration. Say it when the bank account is low. Say it when friends leave. Say it when the world seems to reduce what you have. The law does not respond to appearance, it responds to word. And the one who speaks restoration receives it. When you believe in loss, you create lack. When you believe in divine compensation, you magnetize miracles. The mind must be trained to bless the seeming ending, not curse it. When you bless what leaves, you sanctify the space it held, and what comes to replace it will be of greater value and purer design. Some say, but I worked hard for what I lost. That which was built in fear, pride, or limitation cannot stay. The divine plan is one of expansion. If you refuse to expand, life will sometimes remove the lesser to make room for the greater. It is not punishment, it is promotion. But only those who surrender with joy will see the higher gift. To resist is to delay, to release is to rise. Train your vision to see beyond the visible. When the object is gone, look for the idea behind it. The object may have served its season, but the idea remains ready to be born anew. You did not lose love, you lost a form of it. The love remains and is now seeking a vessel more suited to your growth. You did not lose security, you lost the shell of it. True security is within, and when found, it will build a new outer shelter for you. This is the law. There is no shortage in the infinite. What you call loss is but an illusion cast by fear. Refuse to entertain it. Speak abundance. Speak return. Speak recompense. Say everything that belongs to me by divine right now flows back to me in rivers of plenty, and then prepare for its arrival. No loss is final unless you accept it as such. But the one who knows the truth walks with the authority of heaven and calls back what the world says is gone. The one who walks in faith never fears subtraction, because they live in the rhythm of multiplication. They know that to the faithful, every loss is only a setup for a divine comeback. Life is not chaos, it is not accidental, it is a system governed by spiritual law, unseen but unwavering. You are not here to suffer through it, nor to merely survive it. You are here to play it as one with authority. You are not a pawn on the board of fate. You are the player. And the board itself is designed to respond to your inner convictions, your spoken word, and your spiritual posture. To walk through life thinking it is random is to hand over your power. To believe that others control your destiny is to forfeit your divine inheritance. Every soul is equipped with the same tools: thought, word, imagination, and faith. These are the sacred instruments of the player. The difference lies not in circumstance, but in usage. The one who knows the rules plays with confidence. The one who forgets the rules is played by fear. You were never meant to be at the mercy of outer conditions. Outer conditions are effects. They are the reflection of inner decisions, spoken or unspoken. You may say, I had no choice, but your beliefs chose for you. You may say, I was born into difficulty, but your word can birth you into freedom. For the game is not controlled by what was given, but by what is declared. The board is not neutral. It is designed to respond to spiritual alignment. When you speak in harmony with truth, the board favors you. When you speak in harmony with fear, it mirrors your dread. The system is not biased against you. It is designed to reveal your beliefs. What you claim, you create. What you expect, you attract. What you affirm, you amplify. Say often, this is my game. I am the player. I know the rules and I play in faith. Then walk into every room, every conversation, every opportunity knowing the unseen forces are working with you. Doors will open, people will appear, ideas will come, not because of your striving but because of your inner command. You do not have to know the how. The divine system handles the mechanics. Your part is to speak the word, feel it real, and walk in expectancy. The how belongs to the law, the what belongs to you. When you say, I now receive my good, you are activating movement in the unseen. The law of supply begins to organize itself around your declaration. But if you hesitate, if you speak doubt, the board must obey that too. Some wait for signs before speaking. They wait for evidence before believing. But this is not how the game is played. You must declare it before it appears. You must affirm success while still walking through uncertainty. You must speak love while feeling alone. For your speech is not a report of your condition. It is the creative act that shapes your condition. Every move you make, seen or unseen, is recorded. Every word is a step forward or backward. But the good news is, the game is always in your hands. If you've played from fear, you can start speaking from power. If you've delayed, you can now decide. If you've spoken carelessly, you can now speak with precision and faith. The board responds not to history, but to your current vibration. Begin to speak as one who has already won. Say, everything I touch prospers. Divine ideas lead me. I move in certainty and peace. Speak these not as hopeful wishes, but as decrees. The system knows the difference. A wish wavers, but a decree stands. And once you make it, hold to it. Do not cancel your word with worry. Do not unravel your faith with fear. The moment you declare, I win in every direction, the system begins to organize around that belief. Some say, but I've tried, and it didn't work. It is not the trying that wins, it is the knowing. Many try with doubt in their heart. Many repeat affirmations while fearing the opposite. But the system responds not to surface action, but to soul certainty. When the declaration becomes part of your identity, the result must follow. This is a divine system. It is not broken. It is not confused. It is not corrupt. It cannot be bribed by effort, nor tricked by fear. It only and always answers to the one who speaks the word in alignment with divine truth. And that one is you. You are not waiting to be chosen. You are not hoping to be rescued. You are not praying to be permitted. You are the player. You hold the wand of speech, the shield of faith, and the crown of spiritual authority. The moment you use them, the board shifts in your favor. So speak. Speak boldly. Speak with joy. Speak as if you were born to win. Because in the divine game, you were. So now you know. The game of life is not a struggle but a spiritual science. You are not a victim of unseen forces. You are the force. You are not at the mercy of fate. You are its master when you understand the rules. You are not a broken piece in a world gone wrong. You are a divine creator in a system governed by unchanging laws. The power does not lie out there. It lies in your word, your belief, your faith, your vision. Your word is your wand. Speak not what you fear. Speak what you know is yours by divine right. Let your words become the tools that shape your tomorrow. Bless your tongue and guard it, for it carries the fire of creation. What you decree, you draw near. What you affirm, you animate. What you speak, you summon. Your belief is the blueprint. Life will always reflect it with precision. If your belief is high, your experiences will rise to meet it. If your belief is small, even miracles will pass you by. But belief can grow. Faith can expand. And the moment you say, I am ready to see with new eyes, the universe echoes, then I am ready to show you. A fear, logic, and force cannot open the gates of your highest good. Only faith can. Faith in what is unseen. Faith in what is promised. Faith in what is yours. Walk with the assurance of one who is not hoping but knowing. One who is not wishing but commanding. One who is not wondering but receiving. And if anything ever appears to be taken, remember there is no loss in the divine. There is only movement, there is only redirection. What is yours by law will return, multiplied and magnified, the moment you bless it and release it. Let nothing leave your life without gratitude. Let no emptiness go unfilled by faith. The divine never subtracts, it only repositions for greater supply. Above all, know this: you are a divine player in a divine system. The board is not against you. It is waiting for your clarity. It is waiting for your voice. The moment you speak the word in faith, the entire game tilts in your favor. The invisible moves, the visible shifts, and all creation rushes to obey the truth you dare to declare. Play boldly. Speak faithfully. Believe fiercely. And remember, in this game, you were never meant to lose.